had a touchdown. Passing, we saw both quarterbacks. Robert Marv threw more. Robert Marv completed 7 of 18 passes, did have the 2 interceptions, and threw for 95 yards. Caleb Turbush completed 10 of 16 passes for 86 yards and did have the one touchdown pass receiving. And Tavian Edison had a career-high 9 catches for 97 yards. On the other side of the ball for Iowa, total offense, they had 408 yards. Individual stats, Marcus Coker, their star running back, had 30 carries for 139 yards and 1 touchdown rush. The quarterback, Vandenberg, completed 22 of 32 passes for 273 yards, 3 touchdown passes. And their star receiver, Marvin McNutt, 9 catches for 151 yards and 2 touchdown catches. So, Mike, we'll start off offensively. We had a strong start again, but fell asleep pretty much the rest of the game. Start offense. What did you think?
It's just, I think it was a little tough. It was tough at first. Turbush started off decent, and then he started getting down. And, Coach Hope said that both quarterbacks got injured a few times during the game, so I don't want to speculate on why. Because I think Robert Marv was out there for quite a bit, and he was looking iffy quite a bit. Coach Hope said that Turbush was injured, so maybe he had to have Marv out there because Turbush wasn't ready to play, or whatever the reason was. I don't know. But passing attack was just really terrible in this game. No quarterback seemed to really get into a consistent rhythm. There were some nice plays here and there, but overall just really iffy passing, and especially when quarterback for Iowa, Vandenberg, right? Vanden, whatever it is. Vanden, German guy. He was just torching our defense. They got it started with Coker, and our defense couldn't touch him. I was quite frankly surprised to see that he only averaged 4.6 yards a carry, because being at the game watching it looked like he got like 8 yards pretty much every time he had the ball.
He did carry the ball 30 times.
He did, so they started running with Coker, and then that opened up the passing game for Vandenberg. He had almost 300 yards. I just think, they're off. We were just, quite frankly, if it wasn't for the turnovers, our offense was pretty much playing catch up the whole game. And it just didn't really get into a rhythm. Bolden did average 5.1 yards a carry, but, it was a lot of passing and just a lot of not being able to make plays.
Offensively, I thought the play calling was just kind of conservative. I know we came out, Iowa scored on their first series. Purdue got the ball. We scored on our first series, and then kind of just went away. And both, like you said, both quarterbacks really couldn't find a rhythm. It's kind of shocking because we've seen Caleb Turbush. He's played pretty well this whole entire season. And then Marv comes in. We saw signs of brilliance last week. And against Ohio State, and just to see him kind of pretty much flat.
He looked terrible.
Throw 2 interceptions. It just...
And that second interception was horrible. It was a Rex Grossman throw where basically he felt the pressure, and I don't even think Marv knew where he was throwing. He just threw it down the field because he wanted to get rid of it. It was terrible.
Offense, at time, our offensive line I thought played well. There were times where, quarterback had to rush out of the pocket. I thought our rushing attack was there. Like I said, Ralph Bolden had 71 yards rushing. It was just, I think it was all on the quarterback position. Kind of a sluggish day from the quarterback spot. Defensively, at times, they stopped Iowa, but then other times, I had a lot of beef against our secondary. At the start of the game, we kind of were doing press coverage on their wide receivers, especially on Marvin McNutt. Then he, just did a basic swim move over Josh Johnson for that 21-yard touchdown pass on their first series to go up 7-0. And then Purdue kind of backed away, kind of gave cushion, like a 7 to 8 yard cushion
way
from the wide receiver.
And they just did quick slants all game.
And it was quick slants, 5 yards and out. And then, trying, just gaining yards slowly progressing down the field. And I thought, what, maybe do 5 yards, because that's kind of saying, hey, I'm not going to give you the long ball, but I'm not going to give you that 5 and out.
And I think Iowa bailed Purdue out quite a few times. They had some terrible turnovers, like that one.
The fumble recovery?
The fumble. Whoever on Iowa fumbled, they were at like our 10. And they were on the verge of going up.
Coker fumbled.
Was that Coker?
Yeah.
He fumbled, and then, that's a 10-point swing. Yeah. Because we got a field goal off that, right? I think that was before the half.
Yeah.
And that was a 10-point swing. Iowa could have been up like 24-7 at that point.
Yeah. I mean, the score really doesn't tell the tale. They missed the field goal. Like you said, they fumbled on the 10-yard line.
Right.
Right there, there's a 10-point swing.
Exactly.
Hawkeyes gave us
a lot of chances
to be in the game and take over the game.
Absolutely.
Just couldn't do it. Defense, late in the game, after the game was over, pretty much all Iowa had to do was knee the ball. Linebacker Dwayne Beckford was ejected from the game for throwing a punch. His status is uncertain for this weekend's game against Indiana. Danny Hope, you got to control your players. I know it was senior day. Everyone wants to, all the players want to win for the seniors who've given their heart and soul to this team all 4 seasons, 5 seasons, however long they've been here. You just got to control your emotions. I think that was a dumb play. A lot of people were ticked off about the Marv touchback that, at the end of the game, that touchdown could have been. Purdue was only going to be down 3 at the time, but they reviewed it, and I saw the replay on Big Ten Network. He fumbled the ball, hit the pylon. That's a touchback. I don't know why Purdue fans were getting all emotional about it.
Because they don't show replays.
Yeah,
at the game, so they had no clue what happened.
To me, I was one of those in the we were on the field watching that replay. They showed the angle behind where the ball hit the pylon, so you really couldn't see if he lost the ball. But then I saw it on, people were still saying, "Hey, you didn't lose the ball." He did lose the ball.
Well, at least we got to see some emotion out of Morgan Burke.
Oh yeah, we saw Morgan Burke.
He came storming by.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, that was funny. I was actually impressed. Giving some emotion, caring.
Yeah. Hey. Coach, game management from the coaches again was questionable. Danny Hope was at his finest again with the timeouts. Called a timeout with 14 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Iowa looked to be running out the clock to go into the second quarter. I don't know if Danny Hope wanted the win against, the win in case they got the field goal for the punt. I don't know what his thinking was. That was just a dumb waste of a timeout. Luckily, he didn't need it to end the second half or the first half. Just a frustrating game. And, the team just didn't come to play.
No, they didn't. And unfortunately, that's kind of been the story of Purdue football this whole year. I mean, one game they come to play, the next they look like they have. I mean, it's just the inconsistency of this team.
Yeah,
it's been. I mean, it's kind of it's put me to awe. I mean, one week they'll look fantastic. The next week they'll look terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been the tale of two teams this whole season. So,
Well, we got one more shot.
One more shot
at becoming bowl eligible. Mike, introduce Week 13.
Yes, sir. It is the Purdue Boilermakers versus the Indiana Hoosiers.
Who?
This is the rivalry game, I guess you could say. Although it's more heated for basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Game time is 3:30. It's on Big Ten Network. It's at Memorial Stadium, of course, down there in Bloomington. The Hoosiers are 1-10. They're 0-7 in conference play. Their last game was a loss to Michigan State, 55-3. Their key players, if they have any, I don't know. I mean, freshman quarterback Trey Robertson, he is completing 55% of his passes. He has 790 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a mobile quarterback. Kind of like something we saw a week ago now in Ohio State.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, IU looks like a joke, but we said that last year, and they came and beat us here at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your outlook on this game?
You just got to be consistent all 4 quarters. Basic line. You're playing for the playoffs. You're playing for, playing another game for the seniors. Seniors better be playing their hearts out.
Because this could potentially be their last game if they lose.
Exactly.
If not, they hopefully one more.
Yeah. Just looking at the old Oak and Bucket rivalry, the trophy, the actual bucket series, Purdue leads 56-27 with 3 ties. Overall, the series Purdue leads over IU 70 wins, over 37 losses, and 6 ties. They're always close. I mean, I know a couple, our freshman year, it was a blowout, 62-10 or 12 or something around that sort. And then we come back, Danny Hope's first season, he wins the bucket. And last year, senior day, we come out to a big lead.
Yeah.
And then
blow it up.
Blow it away.
Yep.
So I'm hoping the boys come out, and you know what? I think they're going to, they're on the morphine drip right now. If they want to go to a bowl, they got to play their hearts out, all out, 150%, 200%.
Yeah.
But, to me, in my gut, I feel like they're going to come out. I think Danny Hope's going to have them 100% focused. It's IU. You're going to get probably the best effort out of IU the whole out of their whole season.
Right.
But I think Purdue can win this, and I think you're going to see both offense and defense show up for Purdue, and I think Purdue wins this one 24-13.
Right. I'll go into records here and win losses for Purdue. Purdue's only had 2 losses back to back this whole season, and that was against Michigan, at Michigan, and then at Wisconsin. Right. 2 really hard teams.
Right.
But it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago about how this team is a tale of 2 stories. Every week it's win, then the next week's a loss, and the next week's a win, then the next week's a loss. It's Purdue plays good, then they play bad, then they play good, then they play bad.
Right.
And they just played bad.
Yeah.
So they're due to play good, and I think, regardless of how competitive this game is, IU is just exceptionally bad. They're usually not a good football team; they're all about basketball. But this team's just terrible. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be close. I think Purdue wins 31-13.
Okay. Just looking at IU stats real quick. Offensively, they're 11th in scoring in the Big Ten, about 17 points per game. The 9th in total offense. Defensively, they're last in the Big Ten. They give up about 44 points per game and 12th in total defensive yards allowed. So it's going to be a good game regardless. I know there's a good heated rivalry between us and the whoever they are down there, who cares. But anyways, moving on real quick before we get the break, we're going to do some college picks. Last week, Mike, you're ahead now. You were 3-2. I was 2-3. Overall, you are. No, I'm sorry. This is college. I'm ahead in college.
You're thinking NFL.
I'm thinking NFL. But you did gain a game on me. You were 3-2. I was 2-3 overall. I am 32-18, and you are 29-21. First game, number 3, Arkansas at number 1, LSU.
I've got to take LSU. They just. They're taking kneel downs last game.
Yeah.
To not blow out. They're for sure the best team in the nation, and even though Arkansas is going to give them good competition, I think LSU's can pull it out.
Senior day at LSU. Look for the nation's number 1 defense to attack and take the W, and I think it's going to be. I know Arkansas has climbed up the pole. They're number 3 now in the BCS, but I think LSU is just going to, the defense is going to be key in this game, and it's going to just be. The defense is going to be, everything Arkansas can handle.
Right.
Second game, number 13, Georgia at number 23, Georgia Tech.
I'm liking Georgia. They've been riding the hot wave. Like I said, they lost their first 2 games, and that's it. They've won 9 straight. They're super hot, and I don't think even away, Georgia Tech's not going to be able to.
Georgia is one of the most underrated teams in the nation that is on a hot streak. Like you said, they started 0-2 and won last night. I think Georgia wins this one big. Third game, number 2, Alabama at number 24, Auburn.
I'm going to have to take Alabama on the road just because Auburn can't beat good teams. They lost 45-7 to Georgia. They've lost 45-10 versus LSU. They lost 38-14 against Arkansas. They're ranked 24th, but they just can't beat good teams. They're not going to be able to beat Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama's defense will be the difference. They're first in the nation. They only give up about 8.4 points per game. So defense is going to be key here, and Auburn has just looked terrible against good teams. Fourth game, number 19, Penn State at number 16, Wisconsin. This is for the Big Ten Leaders Division and to clinch, a trip to Indiana in 2 weeks. Mike, who do you like?
I like Wisconsin just because they're at home. Yeah. One of the toughest places to play. Camp Randall's insane. Those fans up there love their football. They're going to
jump.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to start jumping around. They love their football up there in Wisconsin. Even though Penn State's got a tough defense, I think Russell Wilson will have a good day, and I think Wisconsin's going to win.
Wisconsin's going to jump out to an early lead made by senior quarterback Russell Wilson. Wisconsin clinches the Big Ten Leaders Division. Last game, number 22, Notre Dame at number 6, Stanford.
Notre Dame, aside from Michigan State, they haven't played really anybody good all year.
Yep.
And I just think Stanford, especially Andrew Luck, his last home game at his stadium in Stanford.
Maybe.
Well, even if he gets another game, it won't be at home.
He still has another year of eligibility.
Are you kidding? Get real.
I just want to make the Colts fans tick.
Yeah, that's right. Get Colts fans upset, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Luck announces his comeback to college football. They'd cry.